Anastasia Library, and today in Kids Art and Culture Lab we're going to be talking about something called perspective. Now, what is perspective in art? Well, really it's the way to show things relationship to each other. So you see these pictures and it's like, is the Eiffel Tower so tiny we can actually fit it between our fingers? No. So these are ways we can show the distance or relationship to those things in the environment. It's a way to draw three-dimensional objects, which we are three-dimensional, so that they look more realistic, because that paper is just a flat surface. It's a fairly new technique in the world of art. It was developed in the Renaissance around 1415 by Filippo Brunelleschi. Now, 1415 sounds like a really long time ago, but if you think about how many thousands of years art has been around, really 600 isn't very long. So in perspective, objects that are closer are going to appear larger, and then objects that are farther are going to appear smaller. So why do you think it's important to use perspective in art? Well, maybe sometimes that perspective itself is important. What if you were drawing like a map, or you were trying to show how big a building was, or maybe how far away that tree is? That's why you would want to use perspective. So we have something here called one-point perspective. We're going to start here with this horizon line. Sorry. The horizon line is actually where the sky meets the earth, or the water, or the land. And it's that horizontal line that goes across the middle part of this page. Then we're going to talk about the vanishing point. Now that vanishing point is the place where those parallel lines appear to come together in the distance. So there we go. Then we also have the foreground. Now the foreground is here in the front, and things are going to be larger in the front. Then we have the middle ground. Well, just kind of like it says, things are going to be middle-sized. And then we have the background. Now here in the background, things are going to be itty-bitty, so we can show that they're far away. We have these two lines here with the red arrows pointing to them. They're called orthogonal lines. And these two lines help show the path down to the vanishing point. There we go. All right. So let's see. Where do you think this black arrow is pointing? If you said middle ground, you're correct. What is the line? If you said horizon line, you're correct. And what about those kind of two parallel lines? What are those called? Orthogonal lines. Good job. And they lead to the vanishing point. Excellent. Now way up here in the sky, that would be our background. And down here, that would be in the front, or our foreground. So here we have another one. Let's try this one. There is our horizon line. Good job. It's a little hard to see in this one. We kind of have to imagine we can see through all those people standing up there on the stairs. Then we have way in the back, background. Way down here in the front, and things are bigger, foreground. Right here in the center, how we're trying to look out that door behind those two guys, that would be the vanishing point. And these two lines of sight that kind of make us want to look right here down the middle is called orthogonal lines. Now, they're not visible like we saw on the other one, like a road, but our eyes still want to go to that same point. Right here in the middle, the kind of middle-sized people, middle ground. Now we have something that's called two-point perspective. So here we're going to have our horizon line, which you see. Then we're going to have two vanishing points, which is one on either side of the picture. This is usually used in something like architectural drawings, or sometimes we see them in paintings or something like here, which we would see like a corner scene, or maybe we're standing where we want to see more than one viewpoint. We also have something called the aerial perspective. Now this doesn't have any of those things. This is actually creating the illusion of depth by using different colors. So as things get farther away, they're going to change that. in the background. They're going to kind of make it more muted, kind of more blurry, and maybe darker, just to give it that far off appearance. Like you can't see really far and things get a little blurry, and sometimes they may even get darker. So they're trying to recreate that using paint colors. So what colors here do you notice in the background? I see a lot of purples and blues, a little bit of greens. Let's see, are the objects in the background painted in detail? Not with this technique. So let's play a little game. Can you guess which perspective this is? If you said one perspective, you're correct. We're kind of looking down the sidewalk toward that building in the back. What about this one? Well, in the back, the things, are they blurry? Yeah. Maybe a little darker, muted colors? So this would be an example of our aerial perspective. Now here's one that we're kind of familiar with. Yes, 1-point perspective. Right down those trees, down the road, looking at our vanishing point. Now here's a good example of what we said is usually an architectural drawing. So we have a building on the corner and we can actually see 2 different vanishing points, one down each street. So that would make this 2-point perspective. And then we have our person standing on a corner. Now this is more like a close-up of what we just saw. So again, it's a 2-point perspective. Very famous painting. I don't see the vanishing point, but we do see those soft muted colors in the background. So aerial perspective. So today what we're going to do is we're going to draw a perspective landscape. You're going to need some crayons, a ruler, pencil, or you can actually use colored pencils if you'd like to do that. So go grab your supplies and we'll meet right back here. All right. So we are going to draw a road and a sidewalk as triangles. So I'm going to start by drawing a little bit of a horizon line. There we go. I'll put a vertical line dot there. Right. And now I'm going to draw the road and the sidewalk as triangles. I'm drawing them almost out to the corners of the paper. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw 2 more kind of triangles up to the top corners, and this is going to help us with our perspective. Okay. Gonna put my little road in here. I'm going to use my ruler to help me make my sidewalk. All right, so next what I'm going to do is draw some trees on one side of the paper. Now I want them to be big when they start, and then they're going to be small as they finish. So for some people it's easy to draw it going up, and other people it may be going down. So I'm going to actually start mine by kind of going up here, kind of like this, and then there we go. I'm going to draw a great big kind of tree here in front. a 1 point perspective. That's going to be our point. Thank you guys, and we will see you at the next Kids Art and Culture.